Brother, what are we about to go do?
About to go get some Hab Daddy and go watch a UFC fight.
Look at you. Holding me up and shit. We're going to UFC Fight Night Austin.
Sir, can you stop doing?
Ice cold right here, guys. Cold beer, cold beer. Cold beer.
Thanks to this Jason Fletcher. That's Metro PCS brings you closer than Hilton's UFC. Anytime, anywhere. The action is birthday. Non-degrees and 2 degrees. Here is the fine crowd of Katy, Texas.
This episode of Background Noise is brought to you by Trident Clothing Shop. Now listen, y'all, this is a brand new clothing company that's taken the public by storm, with not only a badass line of clothes and accessories, but a strong message behind it too. Trident Clothing Shop's goal is for you to go out and challenge yourself, be the best version of yourself you can be, and achieve all your goals. And shit, even look great doing it too. But don't take my word for it. Go ahead and click on the link that's underneath the video in the comment section. Check out the website. You be the judge. What's going on, everyone? It's a lovely Wednesday, and I'm fucking off, and Daniel's off, so you know what time it is. This is the 5th episode of Baby Brother Beatdown Breakdown. We had a badass time in Austin. Well, we live in Austin. Fuck, you know, forgive me, it's early, but we went to go see UFC Fight Night here in Austin. We had a fucking blast, and you know, if you like that video, you know, leave a comment, all that good shit. That way I know to do it again next time, or just to never do it ever again. But anyways, what's going on, D baby?
Nothing much, dude.
How you feeling?
Pretty awesome. Have some coffee. Everything is going.
Got your cup of Joe? Well, let's get this started, man. Holy shit. Well, we've been watching UFC for a very long time now, and this is actually the first event we've ever gone to. And this was definitely one of those, like, hallmark moments in our lives, just because not only do we get to see some of the, you know, great names that we've been able to watch on TV for so long, and like, you know, especially like Herb Dean, man, he's been around for fucking ever.
Yeah.
It's so cool to see Jimmy Smith, man. I know he's Bellator beforehand, and he's just now getting to the UFC, but I haven't really listened to him for too long. I've heard his name tossed around and shit, but it's really, really cool to see him live. And of course, Nate Diaz, and
yeah,
for him,
really cool.
For him to do something to go viral, you know, while they were there too. That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
I wish we got a little bit closer. I would have said what's up.
Yeah.
I would have been like, fuck.
I know. I wish we would have noticed that after it was over, he was there signing autographs and shit right there by the cage. We could have gotten there in time if we had known that's where he was at, but it's okay. We got to see him pretty up close, which is pretty cool.
Just like another fucking, just one of those greats that just happened to beat McGregor.
Yeah.
We're in the same room with him. Oh, my dude. Would you mind doing me a favor?
Stop in the dryer?
Yeah, dude. It's fucking annoying the shit out of me. Go ahead, and I'll create some background noise. Plug. This is Aki. But anyhow, and we got to see Donald Cerrone, and of, you know, the up-and-coming Sage Northcutt, and fuck, oh, dude, tell me about the story at LA Fitness.
Oh, okay.
When you got to meet.
All right. So, just another day in the life of
Set
D.
the scene, bro. Please.
It's a,
What was it, a Sunday? No, it wasn't Sunday. It was like a Friday.
it was a Friday. Okay. We'll give you a background of that entire fucking day. The lead up. Okay, so I wake up. You and I both go to the gym together. Whatever. Go throughout our day. Blah, blah, blah. Time for me.
I was going to go see Black Panther, which was awesome, by the way. But go
Friday, you saw it? Oh, right. You went to San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So I had to go to work, and basically, I was scheduled, but I was outside, and it was raining. Right. So they canceled my shift without calling me. So I show up anyways. And whatever, I'm there for a little bit. Take one table. And then I fucking decide to go home. I was like, fuck, what am I going to do? So I was like, fuck it, I'll go back to the gym, just do some cardio or something. Do my cardio, blah, blah, blah. And then as I'm leaving the gym, in the corner of my eye, I see a large African-American male just sitting in
You
the
saw
hot
a large
tub.
black mass
Yeah.
of power. and
Otherwise
awesome
known as the
Instagram.
Black Beast. Derek Lewis was just sitting there chilling in the hot tub. At the same time, I decided to go back there, and the gym's empty. Like, we're one of the very few people there.
That's probably why he was there.
Yeah, and I was like, no fucking shit.
You have to be that fangirl. You had to.
I know,
would've
yeah.
done the same.
I was about to leave, and
I would have chased him down if he went into the sauna naked. I don't give a shit.
yeah, no.
You get that
fucking,
Mamba over here and let me talk to you.
Oh Jesus. I went up and I said hi, and I was like, bro, oh my god, I'm a huge fan. I'm gonna be there on Sunday. And he was like, thanks, dog. Whatever. Gave me a fist bump, and it was really cool.
And his fist wasn't like a huge mass compared to yours. He's like a decently sized fella.
I mean, he's a big dude.
Big fella, but like
not anything like not any physical
no
specimen.
Ngannou, or something like that. You're not trying to fist bump Shaq.
Yeah, no, he's a average looking dude. I mean, really.
But he did not fight average.
No,
that's for sure. And man, we got there, and the prelims were pretty fun to watch. I think there was only 3 decisions in that entire card. Everything else was a finish.
Dude, 3 tops. I don't even remember 3. I remember
we got
2.
there, and the prelims were.
Oh yeah, okay. So I don't remember 3. 2 decisions. I think there was. I don't know. Was there 3? Oh, okay. Sage Northcutt. The 2 female fighters on the prelims, and then.
No, the big tall guy, the 6'3",
right? Okay, so that was 3.
Yeah, that's right. Let me get his name real quick. That guy's a fucking animal. He's undefeated in the UFC right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's James Vick.
Mm-hmm.
That tall fucker. I've never seen 155 stand so tall before.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Big dude.
He competed though. He did really, really well. Well, we'll start with the. Well, actually, shit. There was some controversy in that fight too.
Was that the one?
I thought it was okay. No, that wasn't the one. Well, there was a fight where someone threw a kick and I guess his toe poked him in the eye or some shit like that. And the ref stopped the fight, but that definitely should not have been stopped. I really, really think the fight should have continued. It's not like an eye poke or anything like that. You can throw a punch and a knuckle poke you in the eye. Yeah. But the ref's not gonna stop that every fucking time. It was weird because it was a foot. I've never seen that before. Yeah. But I can see where the confusion would be. But I mean, come on, dude, you're a professional. Let's keep the action going. And another time, he stood up the girls. That Sarah girl. Mm-hmm. And they were competing on the ground. Not quite as active as maybe we would like to see, but definitely shouldn't have stood up. And he stood them up. And then the fight took a swing. The striker definitely just had the upper hand after that stand-up, because after that she just started implementing her game plan. And, I wish I fucking remember their names. I know one was named Sarah. And the other girl, well, I don't know. And there's these fucking fans behind us. And, Dale and I were just talking. We realized for the first time how stupid
some MMA fans really are.
No, of all the ones I heard talking,
they were not educated at all. They were fucking talking out their ass, being so annoying.
It's like half of some person's name and
you're trying to tell them how to fight.
Oh yeah, it's just the most annoying.
Oh yeah, Sage Honeycutt. I'm like, boy, boy,
you spitting fire, man. You said that confidently, a little too confidently. Yeah. And I don't know. It was probably the most annoying part of the evening. I mean, we enjoyed the fuck out of ourselves, but it's just I don't know. We had some people this guy was down 2 rounds, and it was the 3rd round with the last 30 seconds left, and the only way he can win is by knocking him out. Or putting him out into a submission, which he was not. Yeah. I mean, he was a striker. And the guy behind was like, take him down now. And we're just like, dude, what the fuck? I mean, he's trying to win the fight. You're not going to take him down with the last 30 seconds of the fight just to lose. Yeah. And I don't know. Especially when, Derek Lewis got taken down. And that guy was like, "Oh, come on, Derek! What are you doing? Don't you can't let him do that." And it's just
obviously, bro. But I mean, let's see you get in there with a fucking 245-pound monster to try to take you down.
Yeah,
come on, bro.
He's like, watch the fight
and appreciate it for what it is. Appreciate the process, of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He trained for that. Let him
do his thing.
Yeah,
it's not like he's not fighting someone incompetent.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't know what he's doing. Fucking,
yeah,
it's so obnoxious.
That just, I don't know. The only reason why that irritates me so much is that for you to be spitting, shit like that, you gotta really you have to understand where you're coming from.
Probably's never fucking thrown a punch in his life.
I mean, we don't know that, but still.
I mean, from the way he was talking, I kind of know that. Like, I didn't know. And I looked at him, fucking, that guy jerks off in his mom's fucking attic. I was going to say basement, but we don't have basements in Texas. But, so, no. Like.
Yeah, it was quite annoying, but you know what? We stayed out of it.
I was trying, I bit my tongue. I was going to turn around and be like, bro.
Pronounce the name correctly, for one.
I was going to say, just please stop. Like, you're insulting me by...
You're ruining this for your child.
You're ruining this... No, you're ruining this for me. Like, please, shut up.
Anyhow, we had a really fun
It was
time.
still a great time, nonetheless. But
yeah, we'll start with the first fight.
By the way, it was Sarah Morris or whatever and Lucy Pudilova.
Okay. Well,
yeah, that was the two female fights that got stood up. And I think Sarah... Was she the... one who's getting taken down?
Yeah, she was the one that... No, she wanted to be... She was in her guard.
2 knockdowns. The Lucy girl got 2 knockdowns. Takedowns. Sarah got 2 takedowns out of 5. So submission.
It was back and forth, but it definitely
so Sarah
shifted.
was the girl who was taking Lucy down, and then they stood him up.
And getting her in her guard.
Yeah.
And she was working her.
Right.
And some decent ground and pound, too. I remember, like, she was laying in some elbows and... some fucking hammer fists, like she was connecting, and but the fans started getting kind of restless and booing, and I think it freaked the ref out a little bit.
Yeah,
and,
I mean Austin fans are very. I mean it's kind of cool. It's a good crowd. Did the wave and shit.
Yeah, that was cool. Or attempted the wave.
No, we did the wave.
We did the wave.
It worked. The whole stadium went all the way around. That's awesome.
Yeah, ain't no Brazil or some shit. That'd be the day. But anyways, we had Sage Honeycutt, Sage Northcutt against I'm gonna butcher this first name. Thibault.
I think people just call him Ty or
Ty Goudy. Is that right? Guti. But anyways, that was a very the first round was very exciting. Very, very, very exciting. He right away started connecting on. Sage Northcutt.
Well, hey, bro.
What's up?
I'm looking at the live stats right now. Mm-hmm. Apparently, from the stats, total strikes landed. The guy only landed 30 of 60. Sage landed 125 of 204.
On the ground, he racked up a shit ton of those. But anyways, let's get to that first.
Yeah.
Like, let's not hop around too much at the moment. Anyways, first round went very well. Right away, I think he landed a left that kind of stunned Northcutt and bounced him back a little bit, and they ended up going to the ground temporarily. And he looked like he was about to get a standing guillotine. He had him up against the cage and all that shit, and he stuck him quite a few times. Don't get me wrong, Sage was putting together combos and stuff like that, but it was very, very back and forth. And then Sage had a really good, after getting rocked, Sage had a really good takedown, a very, very good technical. It was probably one of the cleanest takedowns I've seen in a
Picked
good while.
his ass up.
Yeah, and displayed a lot of power, and that was very, very exciting to watch, and the crowd was really into it too, which made it fun. And second round comes around, it's back and forth, a little bit, kind of as per usual. But then Ty, I'm just gonna call him Ty. Started taking him down and keeping him down, and kind of wherever he wanted to go, whether it was standing for a little bit or on the ground, he can get him there. So that was one flaw in Northcutt's game that we saw, that I kind of saw for the first time. I haven't seen all of his fights, but I was a little surprised because there's a lot of hype with this kid. Dude, he's the closest thing to a Ken doll I've ever seen in my goddamn life.
Yeah, dude, no fucking body fat.
Dude, he could just rake it in. But anyways, he very, very, very athletic, extremely athletic. And there's just a lot of hype coming with this kid. Some kid says he's gonna be some prodigy, and he's only 21, very young, huge amount to grow. But that's just that we discovered that he needs some growing. He took a lot of shots, and from what I saw and what from multiple other sources I've saw too, he lacks in head movement, and he gets teed off on a little bit more than what you would like to see in a prodigy, you know. And he has extremely good takedowns, but what they're noticing is that, and what we noticed in this fight too, after the first round, you know, those takedowns were beautiful, but then like they lacked so much in the later round.
You know what I think those were though? And I noticed when in the first round he set up the takedown, right? And the other ones, I think they were just more or less a distraction, and he used them for him to stop getting hit for a few seconds.
It's a good point.
You know,
it's a good point that wasn't acknowledged. But still, I don't know.
So I think those were in a way like defensive takedowns in a way. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They weren't. I don't think he really even cared if he got him down or not. It was just to change where the fight was at for that second.
Keep his hands from moving and keep him modest.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I mean, I think if he had set him up and purposely went for that takedown,
I mean, he could have got.
But maybe he didn't feel comfortable on the ground.
Yeah,
so because he was doing better standing up. Obviously, so you know, well, not obviously because it was going back and forth, but I think most of the damage done to Sage was in the first round.
Yeah.
So,
and I predicted this fight. I had originally Sage winning by decision, and that's exactly what ended up happening. But the thing is I thought he lost. I thought the other guy won, and a lot of other people. Well, I say a lot. A few other people saw it the same way too. Even you.
Yeah. At first, I did see it that way, but then I watched the post-fight interview with Sage, and apparently, I know exactly what it was, but Sage was saying that the way the fights are scored, at least in Texas or whatever, they're doing off like you will get some credit and points for the takedown, but it's what you do with the takedown. And the guy who took Sage down did no damage with those takedowns.
That's true, and
so he just held him there, and so. Sage, when he did get taken down, he was throwing punches, elbows, whatever. So, you know, I don't know. That kind of makes more sense to me now. So
yeah, it makes more sense now that you mention it that way. But I guess the way that I scored it before, and I'm not sure how they scored it. It's been very weird.
It's kind of a boring fight. To those who didn't know what was going on, they're getting upset that it was going to the ground and nothing was really happening. I mean, Sage thought he should get stood up. He was looking at the ref like, dude, he's not doing shit. Stand us up.
Yeah, if they're gonna stand up the chicks fight, you know, they should. If they're gonna do it that way, they should definitely have stood up those two.
Yeah.
But I could definitely see where that's coming from, and now I could kind of see. And plus, he is from Texas. You know that. You know, think what you want about it, but that could be a factor too with it being a close fight.
Yeah,
you know,
Katie, it's not that far.
Yeah, it's not far away at all. And so he got the decision, but I just thought, from what I saw, I thought more significant strikes were thrown than what's recorded from what you just read off. But I guess not. But he was
well, those are total strikes.
Yeah.
Well, significant strikes. Sage landed 45%. Gucci, I don't know his first name, can't pronounce it. Landed 42%. So the guy Gucci had 28 strikes and Sage had 63. Significant strikes.
I would love, once this comes out on Fight Pass, I'd love to rewatch this fight.
It should be like probably maybe a week or so.
Cool. We'll do that. That way we'll have a little bit more of a second look at it.
But I don't really agree with all like. I mean, I think it was just a rough fight for Sage. I really don't. My opinion's not changed of him. Like people say that. And you said Brendan Schaub said he shouldn't even be in the UFC.
You know,
I completely disagree with that.
Okay, I think I know for a fact, quote, you know, Brendan Schaub doesn't think he'll. He's like, I don't think he'll be in the UFC even in 4 years. I think he does something else. And I was like, I mean, who's to say? I mean, I mean that's a little bit of a bold statement in my opinion.
I don't really agree with that.
What I agree with is that I don't think he's going to be the prodigy. I don't think you're going to be able to put him next to GSP and BJ Penn and Anderson Silva and all those guys. I really don't. At least, especially after this performance. I mean, he's 21. He has a lot of room to grow. But
you don't think
the thing is, I think because of wins like this, very controversial. Well, not very controversial, but.
Well, let me see.
There's argument on both sides for that clearly, and he had a rough fight. Now we know that he lacks takedown defense and head movement, and nothing against his opponent, but if
it was up against a upper echelon guy, he would
even in the top 15.
Yeah.
You know, like those are gonna be the fights he takes next, and I don't think he's ready. I mean, right now. But you did say that he changed camps, and he's making moves to
get better.
What looks like to better his career, which is that's
and also, dude, he just dropped out of college. He went to college full time.
That's awesome. Good for him.
Because he wanted to do fighting full time.
No, seriously, like
so,
fuck college.
That's what I'm saying. When he was doing this, he started the UFC, also going to college same time. But
he prioritized.
So I'm saying, like, I really do think this is just a rough fight for him. He's still really young. Yes, he has some things to go back and fix, which I think he's aware of. I mean, he's going to get hit, obviously.
If he's going to be a champion,
you know what I'm saying?
He has to.
I'm like, in a few years, I think he can really go back and fix his game and become really dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Possibly a champion. You know what I'm saying? He's only 21, and he's fighting these guys that are in the UFC, fucking 10 years old. They probably have 10 more years of experience too. Mm-hmm. You know, like, it's
what he's gonna have to do is
he definitely has the skill set,
and he has the athletic capability.
As long as and I think he will do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with that. He's not gonna be a champion or he's not gonna hang with the upper echelon guys. I'm like, he had a rough fight. I don't know why everyone's jumping on his case as if he fucking got the shit beat out of him and still won.
No.
Because fucking if you're saying that he can never be an upper echelon guy, dude, I think he's way more fucking well rounded than say someone like Ngannou who can only strike. That's it, literally, and you know people are on his fucking dick.
I mean, you're talking 170 to 245. There's a huge difference in what the fighters are doing at those divisions where someone could get away with something like that. But besides the point, I never said that he could never get there. I just said not. I might have started off that way. Didn't mean to come off that way. But I'm thinking that we're not going to see any big moves past like the top 10. Or like maybe even 15 for another 4 years.
Yeah, and that's smart on his choice.
Oh, he didn't say that. I'm just saying like.
Well, like if he's taking his time to get there, that's a smart move. He knows how old he is. You know what I'm saying?
That's just the thing. Probably his next fight is gonna be someone in the top 15. So he's not taking his time. I mean, like
maybe. I mean, top 15 is a lot of people for that. I mean,
I'm just saying his opponent is not that he's not a good fighter. It's just Sage struggled against someone who's not even in the top 15. I don't know what his rank is, but I'm probably just somewhere in the top 25. And for him to have this, win, there's a good possibility he'll be fighting some of those upper tier guys. And I don't think he's ready. And I just hope that he remains consistent with no matter what happens, even if he does start losing, and just be consistent, because eventually those guys are going to get old and he'll be constantly learning. You either win or you learn. And I hope he has that mentality. I would imagine a guy with this character would. Mm-hmm. But that's also why I'm thinking I'm not going to see anything huge from him for another 4 years. And that's at the end of the day, that's what I finished. Yeah,
and I don't even disagree with that. But I'm just thinking I think it definitely could be done for sure. Like I from all the interviews I watched with him and how he speaks and carries himself, I think he really is truly aware of what he's doing.
Yes,
and I really think
very Jesus-y.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that at all. But I mean, as far as just fighting goes,
that's if he finds his purpose in that. Fuck yeah.
I mean, I think he.
Who are we to say that's a bad thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think if he dropped out of college to pursue fighting full time, he knows what he's doing.
Smartest move.
You know what I'm saying? He knows what he's doing. He's not doing it for the wrong reasons. I think he's doing it because he truly wants to do it. So I think he's gonna come back better. I really do.
So. I think we'll see good things coming, but not for the next few years. Mm-hmm. But if he sticks with it, he'll definitely be there. Anyways, let's move forward, dude. We're
So I guess we could
very
talk
interesting, but we.
Steven Peterson, Brandon Davis.
Yeah, this is the one with Brandon Davis. No, was it him? No, it was the other guy. Never mind. I was gonna say there was one fight where this guy kept on getting kicked in the dick, and they're fucking like, oh, dude, that sucks.
Was it this fight? I don't remember.
No, it was
This was kind of a forgettable fight. These guys weren't.
Yeah, from what I'm hearing, these guys were I think they're on the Tuesday night fights or whatever with Dana White.
Yeah, the Tuesday night contender series or whatever.
Yeah, and from what Luke Thomas was saying is that these guys honestly shouldn't have even been on this card, let alone.
Yeah, this is a pretty good card, and they kind of got thrown on it.
Yeah, and it's
I mean,
not.
they were a good matchup for each other.
They were a good matchup for each other, but there wasn't a really great display of skill. You know, they were like basically slugging combinations out, like good combinations, without really any like true head movement or
strategy.
It was just like it was as if they were
Like,
punching.
literally, who's gonna hit who first and how hard.
Yeah.
So
and like they did have some takedown attempts and some, you know, they both displayed decent striking and decent jiu-jitsu, but not to be on the main event.
yeah, for example, Steven Peterson, he landed 1 of 10 takedowns, and the other guy landed 0 of 1 takedown. You know, so
it's just they either they're a really good matchup for each other or they just need some work.
There's no knockdowns. I mean, there was significant strikes,
but that's what happens when you
73.
stand right in front of someone.
Yeah, I mean, it was like watching a good amateur fight.
Yeah.
So it was just like it was forgettable.
It was forgettable, and it's just like it's not like we're not trying to shit talk on these people, you know, Steven Peterson and Brandon Davis, but
I could beat you up.
right?
Jesus,
no,
not at all. Not at all.
But give me your wrist.
Fuck you. It was a joke. Yeah, no, they were.
It was definitely a forgettable fight, and but I don't know, you know, good for them. They displayed this is probably the best performance on both of their ends in front of a big stage like this.
Yeah, it's still kind of disappointing.
So I'm sorry,
next
guys.
one, Thiago Alves versus Curtis Millender. That was a great one.
That was a really fun one to watch, but
everyone, you thought this was the one you got wrong, correct?
This is the one I got incorrect. Otherwise, I think I was 4 out of 5 correct on my predictions. I didn't really know much about Steven Peterson or Brandon Davis, but I happened to pick Davis by, I don't know, I thought I said like TKO in the third, but it went to decision. Anyways, I had Thiago Alves winning this one because I didn't really know shit about Curtis Millender. I heard that he was really, really good up and coming and stuff like that, and I think this was his debut, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And I just didn't know much about him. I knew he was a really tall,
fighting
lanky,
a former champ.
Yeah, I think it was a Strikeforce. I can't remember exactly.
But
Thiago Alves
has held the belt for sure.
Thiago Alves was, you know, former champion from the sounds of it, and fucking, I mean, very decorated. He is on the older side. I think he's 42, 43. I'm not too sure.
He is,
but he just clearly had a lot of credentials, and a lot of people were saying he shouldn't even be fighting anymore. I didn't really know too much about him either, but Curtis Millender just put on a clinic. He utilized his reach advantage to the utmost extent for the entire fight, and he was throwing flying knees. He was throwing like
he knocked him out with the knee.
Yeah, he knocked him out in the second round, I believe. Or
it was weird. It was like just like a straight up, like, he's a tall, lanky dude. He just threw a knee like almost a kick.
He stuck him in the I think it was a left in the first round and knocked him down, but he rose his hands as if he thought he won.
Yeah.
And but he could have finished that fight in the first round, but you know, he made that mistake, and you know, he gave him time to recover. And then the second round, he threw a flying knee that just connected beautifully.
It wasn't even like a flying knee. He just kind of
you're right.
Threw it.
He's just that tall. That's right.
Yeah, he's really tall and just kind of like lifted his knee
those
up and
knees
knocked the fuck out.
Like he's punting a football, dude.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And he exhibited a lot of range and reach and stuff like that. And I know he's a 155er, but I think Curtis Millender would be a great matchup against James Vick. I would really want to see that fight. I hope.
Yeah, they're both really fucking lanky.
And very talented too, both undefeated in the UFC. But technically, this guy was his debut. But anyways, Thiago Alves got knocked the fuck out, and I mean, after that performance and just hearing all these things about him at his age, I think it's time to retire, my dude. Like, you had your chance to ride off in the sunset, but sorry, man, it's new age, man.
Yeah,
getting a little too old.
He didn't look bad.
He didn't look terrible, no. But I mean, that guy's
fucking knocked the fuck out.
I mean, he can compete still, but it's just he's not winning fight. He can't.
I mean, he got knocked out by an up-and-comer, so that might say something.
Yeah,
like, bro, not worth the damage on your brain to keep your fighting career.
I will say, some people were saying he's gonna be like the next like John Jones and stuff like that.
I don't think anyone could be another John Jones.
Yeah, I disagree with that. Not necessarily. I'm not saying he can't be good, but I mean, who has he fought? This is his first fight in the UFC, and he fought a dinosaur, dude.
Yeah.
And I mean, he did great, but we don't know shit about him yet. You know, and completely different weight classes too. Anyways, James Vick and Francisco Trinaldo. Trinaldo.
That's a good one.
Yeah, this is another
That was
older
the
gentleman
decision
from Brazil, and this was a decision. And this one, I thought James Vick was gonna get a submission in the second.
This is the third time they call me.
Oh, dude, just ignore that shit.
They call me 3 times in this fucking podcast.
Dude, don't even worry about it. I've had people call me like 10 times. I just like
I get nervous.
If you,
I'm like, what should I do?
no, just don't answer, man. If it's that important, they'll leave a voicemail.
I don't have my voicemail set up.
You know what? Fuck them, man.
Exactly. If they call me again, I'm gonna hang up again. Anyways, James Vick.
James Vick, I predicted him to get a submission in the second. Very, very good fight. James Vick, I thought kind of put on. It was back and forth. God damn it! It was back and forth for a good while, and but I do think that it was no one got robbed here. It was a clear decision.
Oh,
like
yeah.
he was implementing his plan throughout the entire fight. He did very well. For Francisco, was very explosive, but just got outclassed. This guy's really good. He's definitely one of those up and comers that they think can be competing with the top like 5. So we'll see how it goes. Too early to say, but I'm really excited to see what James Vick brings to the table later. And then finally, dude, we got so excited, and the crowd got so hyped up too with Derek Lewis and Marcin Tybura. Yeah, and this is Derek Lewis is number 7 and Marcin's number 9.
That
And
fight had me nervous for sure.
it was definitely gonna be a good matchup. Derek actually came in as a underdog, and
Which is weird.
which is weird, but I just think it's because Marcin apparently he brings a lot to the table. He has a decent ground game, even though he couldn't
He
really.
throw really good kicks for a heavyweight.
Yeah, exactly, and
Like,
very
high kicks too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
and both very explosive in the first rounds. But Marcin ended up getting knocked, on his ass the first, few seconds, and it was very back and forth from there. I know Derek Lewis got in this awkward position on top of him. Yeah, pretty much sat on him, but it's just because Marcin has a leg, and he ended up standing up, but Derek Lewis tripped or something, fell backwards, and Marcin landed on top. It was kind of like
I don't know how they got
two drunk
so gassed.
grizzly bears just fucking doing the drunken
look
martial
good.
arts with one another.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a sloppy first round, but it was fun to watch, man. God damn it. Just, so much power is just waiting to tee off on someone's face. And Derek Lewis ended up getting taken down a little bit, and Marcin got full mount a couple times.
Yeah.
But couldn't really do too much with it. And both times DL, was able to stand up. And there's a point where he went in for a shot, took him down. They stood back up, and they got him against the cage. And he landed a slick uppercut, just knocked his tooth to Pluto. And got knocked the fuck out, son.
Yeah.
It was awesome, dude. And he did the gorilla smash, and
See, I thought it was a right hook that knocked him the fuck out.
I think you're right. I think the uppercut was started.
It stunned him, and then he came in with the right uppercut
and just dropped
right
him.
hook, and then
that was a really fun
his head
fight to
torched.
watch. Oh yeah, dude.
So
And
that was good.
everyone's talking about Roy Nelson and how Mark Hunt is really the only person that could tee off on him, but no, dude. When Derek Lewis beat Roy Nelson, dude, he knocked his head back into oblivion. I don't know why they're talking more about that.
Probably because fucking.
But see, that's just the thing too. Derek Lewis's last fight, he lost to Mark Hunt.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a bummer. But anyways, so it's a real question to seeing where this fight puts him in the rankings. He was number 7 before, but then you got Curtis Blades at number 5, and Ngannou's still the number 1. And the big question is who's Ngannou going to fight next? I mean, realistically, I think Curtis Blades deserves the rematch, because when he fought Ngannou, he didn't get knocked out. He was stopped by a doctor during that fight, and he wants that rematch. But and I know for a fact, I would put
Ngannou's gonna lose.
Ngannou's gonna lose because he is completely exposed with his lack of wrestling, and Curtis just put on a wrestling clinic against Mark Hunt, and that's not easy to do. I've never seen Mark Hunt get tossed around like that before, and but that's not going to sell pay-per-views. That's not going to put asses in seats, and that's going to be a boring fight for most of the viewers. So the big question was he going to fight Derek Lewis next or Curtis Blades? I think Curtis Blades deserves it, but realistically, he's probably going to fight Derek Lewis because you got two fucking monsters of strikers, and
Derek Lewis can wrestle his ass off too.
I know. So I mean, that's gonna be a good matchup for him still too. And I know he's gonna be working on his wrestling and stuff like that to fight Ngannou, but he is more of a striker than Curtis Blades. Yeah. That's where Curtis kind of lacks. And personally, if I had to say which one of the three would beat both, I would say Curtis Blades beats both if he uses his wrestling. In the case of him losing against either or, Lewis or Ngannou, is if they knock him the fuck out, because he does lack on his feet.
Yeah,
his striking is it's predictable and slow. But so we'll just have to see what happens from there. I'm excited, but it'd be really cool to see Curtis versus Lewis. But I think Curtis puts on a wrestling clinic against him too. And
so now we have
and then we have the main event: Donald Cerrone and Yancy Medeiros. And that was a cool, segment before they walked out, man. And then Yancy came out first, had like the Hawaiian song first, and was it Imagine Dragons?
Yeah.
When it came out, like, it was just kind of a basic song, but still, it was fun to watch, and he was real excited about it. And these guys have kind of formed some sort of camaraderie. During the weigh-ins, Yancy gave Donald a cowboy hat, and that was pretty cool. And they're like buds. But honestly, I think that's when Donald Cerrone fights best, whenever they're kind of cool, unless you have like someone like Robbie Lawler, and you're gonna have like a 5-round war.
He's trying to fuck you. Well, I think they're trying to fuck you up either way, but
like, I mean, if you get Donald to relax and he starts like loosening up, and this is pretty much the point that Luke Thomas was making. If you give him a chance to loosen up and tee off on you like that, then you're in trouble. And I don't know if I agree completely with that, but that's a good point.
Yancy's a really nice dude, so like it's kind of the weird.
It kind of sucks, man. But he's the number 15 if I'm not mistaken, and then Donald, coming off of 3 straight losses, is number 11. But I mean, he had a 5-round war with Robbie Lawler, and I mean, he won. Robbie, it wasn't a controversy in any way, but it was a good fight between the two, and he got knocked out by who was
Darren Till.
Darren Till.
He got starched by Darren Till.
And Darren Till's an animal, dude. He's
new guy.
New guy, up and comer, definitely a big threat. So I mean, that's definitely no walk in the park for Cerrone. That's a bad matchup for Cerrone. And then who's his other loss? I think it was another decision. I can't fucking remember, dude.
Yeah,
I'm failing.
So lost Darren Till, lost Robbie Lawler, Jorge Masvidal, sorry.
Jorge. And does it say how?
I think, yeah. I don't remember how.
But anyways, come out 3 losses, and that's not good. It's definitely not good. And Cowboys always had this, like, anytime, anywhere, I'll fight anybody, mentality. Yeah. And we're just starting to wonder, like,
he didn't know who the fuck Darren Till was, and just took it, didn't even watch tape, and got the fuck beat out of him.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for him. But anyways, he came back against a top 15 guy. I mean, Yancy's a very competitive dude.
Yeah,
and he fights a lot like Max Holloway.
Yeah, he trains with Max Holloway.
Just not Max Holloway.
Right.
And definitely no walk in the park. But after a while, it went back and forth, and Yancy was kind of getting some good combos in. He stuffed one of Donald Cerrone's takedown attempts, which I thought was very, very, that's a good takedown defense for what it was. And then once Donald started being able to throw his, straight body shot to the right and then come with the hand left to kind of piece together his combos, that's when he started getting comfortable. And at the end of the first round is when he fucking just teed off on his head and just had a straight right to drop him and to end the fight. It was just it was fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch, and we were hoping for that.
Yeah,
I had Donald winning. I thought it was
head kick.
Yeah, I had him. There's a 5-round fight. Yeah. So I had him winning at the end of the 4th via head kick, but happened much sooner.
Getting a second, right?
No. It was the end of the 1st.
Oh, end of the 1st.
Yeah, end of the 1st round is when he fucking teed off on him, and that was so awesome. The crowd went fucking insane. Yeah. We went insane. That was a great way to end the night, man. And
it was a great card.
It was fun, man. It was really fun to watch, especially just kind of the theatrics of it, with especially with Nate Diaz and stuff like that. Uriah Faber was there too.
Was gonna be there.
Uriah Faber was there. That was really cool to see him, and a couple other names too. It was really, really cool.
Valentina Shevchenko was there,
and that other gentleman. Give me 1 second. there's this other nice fella.
You talking about the beer guy?
Oh, he was cool as shit, dude. It's like, hello, we like Modelo.
Yeah.
Or some shit like that.
Hello, we got Modelo. All right. We don't got no Bud Light.
Yeah.
Or some shit like that. That was fun. And he's a fucking
everyone
clown. And I don't know, I can't remember the other guy, but there was a few other fighters, one other fighter there for sure. It was an awesome night, dude.
I don't even remember that.
I have a picture of him. I'll post it, and I'm gonna.
Let me see it. Maybe I'll know his name.
No, but see, like, I can't. I have so many fucking pictures and videos.
Oh.
I'm not gonna fucking waste everyone's time. But yeah, dude, it's gonna be really exciting. I know there's some awesome pay-per-views coming up, and I'm excited to see Edgar and
Ortega.
Yeah, Ortega.
That's gonna be awesome.
Edgar has always been this gatekeeper, kind of shutting down these up-and-comers and stuff like that, but he's somewhat getting long in the tooth now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's on the upper side of his years and stuff like that, and Ortega is probably the most skilled in the division with jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
Scary good. And I mean, we're talking like getting standing guillotine chokes and against Cub Swanson.
Yeah, if he has your neck, you're not.
Yeah, you're fucked, and he is a lot
yeah.
bigger and lankier
Mm-hmm.
than Edgar.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see. It's gonna be really, really interesting to see. So we'll definitely get you all the update on that, and go ahead and leave a comment. Leave your feedback on the video, and subscribe, like. I appreciate that shit. You got anything else, my dude?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, dude, we gotta go exercise anyway. So this is Baby Brother Beatdown Breakdown. Appreciate it. Peace out.